The topic of discussion is what is angle. I'm not asking about what is the angle in the sense that if this angle I'm drawing and I'm asking what is this angle? Is this angle 20 degree, 30 degree, 40 degree? No, I'm not talking about that. I am asking you a question about what is an angle. What is that thing or what is that entity which we call or refer to as an angle? It's not a great question with which people would go mad and gaga over. But it is a very relevant question. And if you are a student, if you are a student or if you were a student once, then this question is a question that all of us had in our mind. Unfortunately, what we were taught is not what we call as education. I think even today, what is being taught is not exactly how an angle should be taught or discussed. But am I going to just teach you that? Am I interested in just teaching you? No. I am interested in this discussion about what is an angle. But I am also interested in discussing about how should we approach such questions, such things. There are many things in our life we think that we understand, but actually we are not understood. I'll draw a very simple thing, this. Please don't mind my bad drawing skills. This is a lock. Now, if you have a very small baby with you, like a year-old who has just started talking, and then you are locking the door with this lock and there is a key, and with that you are locking this door, and the child asks you, what is this? And then you say this is lock. You tell the baby this is lock. The child is asking you, the kid is asking you, what is this? And you say this is lock. The baby says lock. You say lock. The baby says lock. The baby has not understood lock. The child has not understood it. The kid has no clue about what is lock. So why is the kid saying lock? Lock. The kid is saying, okay, I only understand that this device is called lock. This is not education, this is not learning. Sadly, this is education, but this is not learning. The kid has learned nothing. And you did not allow learning to happen. You did not even think about a possible way with which the kid can learn this. But a life is greater than all of us. We might not have tried to facilitate or to, create a way or create a method or create a situation for learning to take place about what is a lock. We might not have done that to our kids or to the next generation. But nature has already had such situations. The nature knows. And with the nature, our own instincts are programmed in such a manner that we get to understand these things. How does that happen? A year later, the kid is already, 2-3 years old and is very active, running around here and there. And someone gifts some chocolates. Now what's happening is the chocolates are very important for the kid, but the kid's elder brother or sister is also coming. Some cousin is coming and he's going to stay or she's going to stay for a couple of days. Now what does the kid need is, he is not going to eat all the chocolates, but he doesn't want the chocolates to be taken away. So he is now looking for a possibility of keeping these chocolates safe. And then somebody shows him, this is a box, you can keep this in the box, lock it up. No one can open the lock. The box will not open unless you have this key. And then the kid understands, okay, this is what lock is. I now understand. The meaning of lock is not understood if you don't have anything that you want to possess. Because if there is no sense of possessiveness, the meaning of lock is, there is no meaning to lock. You got to have something that you want to keep guarded, that you either want to possess, or you are trying to make sure that it doesn't reach those hands which cannot value or you cannot handle this. So you're keeping this locked. Whatever you think is extremely precious, you're keeping this in a particular, lock or protection of some kind. This is where the phenomenon of lock is relevant. For a very small child, the phenomenon of lock is not relevant. Because I don't want to give, I don't want to share, I don't want to reveal, is not known to that child yet. So he cannot understand what lock is. Lock for him is just an object with a name, and the connection is made in the mind, okay, this object is called as lock. But after having understood the significance of lock, we not only make this connection with the object, but we also make the connection with the purpose served by this object. This, I think, is the essence of learning. This is what education should be focused on. Unfortunately, it is not. It is still not. But yeah, we all owe it to our next generation. We should be trying to bring purpose into this. Why am I saying all of this? Is because we were taught about angle without any sense of purpose about it. Even if the angle is 30 degree, 40 degree, 50 degree, 60 degree, how does it matter? And how does it matter to a student who is going in 8th standard? He's 12, 13, 14 years old. How does it matter to that child? The angle being 30 degree, 40 degree, 50 degree, how does it matter? And if you cannot tell how does it matter, why are you telling this child about the angle? If there is no relevance of angle in the child's mind and in the child's life, then why do you want to tell this? Is this a systematic plan of snatching away the innocence and beauty and joy from a child's life? Are we one of those? Have we become, as a society, have we become one of those cruel creatures who are just developed a method of snatching away the innocence, of snatching away the joy? And we are so cunning that we call that horrible, cruel method as education. Are we starting to do that? Or have you already started to do that many, many, many decades ago? The questions are dangerous because the answer of this was never understood. And everybody thinks the angle is known. Everybody thinks he knows what is an angle. I'll tell you what an angle is. When I was in school and when this was asked by me or some other my schoolmates, classmates, they would ask, what is an angle? Angle manje ka hai? Angle ka matlab kya hota hai? All that we would be told is, this is line, this is the other line. This is called as an angle. What is this? We would be told that this one line or ray of light, the other line or ray of light is, and this is called as an angle. But what is this? Is this a straight line? Is this a curve? Is this particular, whatever you call this an angle, this particular thing, what should this be? What is this? No one knows, no one talks about it, no one tells anything about this. And unfortunately, what is an angle? What is a straight line? What is a circle? What is the meaning of the word amplitude? What is the meaning of the word inertia? What is the meaning? There are a lot of things which are such a taboo in our schooling society. No one wants to talk about this because no one knows the answer. Nobody ever entertains this. Every time I say this, every time I bring it up in front of the other teachers, they just find some other work to do. It just reminds them that they had to make a call back home. It just tells them, yeah, I need to check my papers. Everybody tries his or her best to avoid discussions like this. Why? Because everybody is there to teach others without ever having any background of learning something on our own or his own. If you do not learn or if you did not learn, how can you teach? Why do you want to teach? If you did not learn this, why do you want to teach others? Why don't you declare that I don't know this? What is wrong with this? Alright, enough with this background. I'll just start with what is an angle. Have you ever seen that when you're walking out and the sunlight is pretty harsh, it's those summer days, and you're just hoping that the sunlight will not directly fall on your eyes. So what do? You hold something or you hold your hand like this. And with this hand, you try to cover yourself with the sun. My simple question is, how ridiculous is that? By holding a hand, we are covering our eyes from the sun. How big is the sun? Somebody will say, sir, sunlight is coming from the... Yeah, I know sunlight is coming from the sun. But our eyes can see the sun because there is a direct line connecting the eye and the sun. If I hold my hand in between, my hand is covering the sun. I'm holding my hand like this here, and there is a window there, and my hand is covering the window. I can't see the window. How big a window can be and how big this hand is? How can this hand cover the window? How can this hand cover the sun? Is it possible that my hand can cover the sun? But then you know what? People carry umbrella during, not only in the rains, but also during summer. People carry their umbrella to protect themselves from the sun. Now this umbrella is blocking the sunlight from reaching their face or their body or their eyes. You imagine this, an umbrella is so small, it's covering the sun, and the sunlight cannot reach you. But the sun is so big, how can you cover that? This happens because when I'm sitting here and there is a big window here, and the entire thing is a big window. What happens is, if I only hold a small book here, just a book, this book can cover the entire window. Why? Because this book is making the same angle at my eye. The angle made with respect to the book, the angle made by the book at the eyesight is the same angle made by this particular window at the eye. So this book is exactly matching with this particular window. We have seen that with the mountains as well. We see that, if I hold my hand like this, then I'm saying the mountain is smaller and my hand looks bigger, and this distance looks bigger than the mountain. Then I adjust it and I'm saying, okay, the mountain is only this much. This much is the size of the mountain. Can you imagine this? Is it possible? Mountain is this large. You're talking mountain. It is because our hand is so close to our eyes. That's why this angle is larger. If I hold this book even closer than this, then it will have more bigger angle. The angle subtended is large if the object is closer. You can test this. The object appears larger because the angle is larger. What is an angle? The angle can be best understood if I suddenly have someone here, not visible in your frame. I know I'm purposefully showing my hand right in the frame. But beyond this frame, if some person is standing here, some man is standing here, and he is very tall. So to look at that man's face, I will have to tilt my head upwards like this. This rotation is angle. How much would you rotate your line of sight? I am looking here. This is my line of sight. I am now rotating in a particular direction through an angle. This rotation is called as an angle. Angle is not a straight line. Angle is not region. Angle is not space. Some people define the region between these two rays. No, this is not region. It is not space. It is not area. It is the rotation. How much do you want to rotate this line so that it will match with this line? This rotation is called as angle. So when the object is very distant, very long way away from you, the only thing you need to do to see this object completely is rotate your line of sight only this much. But when the object is right here, the line of sight has to be rotated far greater. That is why objects which are very close appear to be very large. That is why there is a word in Sanskrit. That word has come in Hindi as well as Marathi, and the word is Drishtikon. If I were to spell this, I will spell this as Drishtikon. This is literally about this cone. The meaning of the word cone is angle. It is translation. Angle can be translated into Hindi or Marathi or Sanskrit, and the translation will be cone. K-O-N, cone. But this drishti is about vision. So angle subtended at the eye, at the vision, at the point. This angle is very large if the object is very close to you, or if you are very close to the object. And then the object appears to be larger. See, I am just walking closer to the camera. My face, I am sure, is appearing larger. As I walk behind, the face appears smaller slightly. Why? Because the angle subtended increases when the object is closer. And when the angle increases, object appears to be larger. That is why whenever we go and watch some film, the screen is so huge in front of us. Because it must make a larger angle for our eye. Only then we'll see something to be large. If the hero of the film, or the heroine, or the villain of the film doesn't appear to be large, who's going to watch that? We all are small people. We live with small people. In our colonies, there are some people who are cunning, who are bad. They are sad as well. But they are not villainish. They don't kill people. So their atrocities or their bad behavior is still small behavior. We are used to that. Who would go to a film hall, to a movie theater, and watch that movie there if everything is shown to be small? The number of people watching such films are very less in number. That's why everything is shown to be a huge size. Gigantic. So if in a film called as Three Idiots, if the man Rancho is shown to have become a scientist, then how many patents does that scientist have in 5 years? 400. It is impossible. In 5 years, you can get 10-15 patents at the most. Research takes time. But how many patents are shown? 400. It is shown much larger than life because the angle subtended at the eye must be great. That will become your vision, point of vision, drishtikon. Perspective, in English we say. Perspective has many other meanings as well. It's not a particular term. But this perspective is a closer translation of drishtikon. Now what is an angle? Angle is the amount of rotation. The rotation can be small to take that entire object into our grasp or into our vision. We must have the line of sight being rotated from one point, extreme point, to the other extreme point, and this rotation is angle. This rotation can be smaller, this rotation can be larger. So how do we define this angle? Is in degrees. Degree is the percentage, or not percentage, is the amount of rotation. So it is lesser degree, the rotation is to a lesser degree, or the rotation is to a greater degree. Hence this angle is measured in rotation in degrees. This is what angle means. Angle is not an object. Angle is the rotation to see the object. And rotation of what? Rotation of line of sight. Most of our understanding about mathematics, especially geometry, is coming because of we see objects in a particular way. Unfortunately, in my school, seeing an object was a part of physics, optics, prakash. Geometry, bhumiti, was mathematics, completely different. No teacher knew that there is a connection between them. If we do not have teachers who can tell us how one thing was invented because of some of the human experiences which are related to other things as well, how will we understand that the two different subjects, two different chapters, two different topics are related to each other? The only reason why our children do not make it big in IIT or JEE or NEET kind of examination, the only reason for that is we do not have the sense of understanding about the connection of different things. There is one chapter, there is one other chapter. This might be of one subject or this might be of other subjects as well. This is about, let's say, mathematics, this is about physics. But there is a connection between them. If we do not understand this connection, eventually there will be some questions that we will not be able to solve because we have no clue about that. To change that, this is what I can do. If you like this, if you like my work, please do comment. Please tell me what you feel about this. Like my video. Share my video with your friends. Subscribe to my channel. And if you want to support my work, please, the links are given in the description box. You can help me with some financial help as well. Thank you.